Hello friends, this is a short video which is a tutorial of my game. It is also a way for me to discuss on uh, things like loop, working with images, and working with lists. So let's get started. If I click on this run, I get this frame and you can see it's written that how about a frame without a button. Normally we have a reset button over here in all the games which we have made to start the game over again, but I don't have. Instead of the reset button over here, I have a dedicated area of the canvas if I click on which the game will be restarted. I will see a new set of balls with different colors with their values rearranged like this. Okay, so how do we play this game? In the in the instructions part, you can see that we have to get the orientation in this way: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you click two balls consecutively like this, the two balls will be swapped. But the condition is that these two balls should be touching each other. Like these two are touching each other, so I can swap them. But if like these two, 1 and 0, they are not touching each other, so I cannot swap them. Okay. You also saw that um, when I first clicked on any of the balls, this triangle over here changed its background. The background became white. So it's highlighting me that now it's ready to reset the game over again if I click on this reset button. Okay, so before seeing the code, let us just have a walk through a short presentation which I have made on OneNote. Um, my tutorial will be a step-by-step explanation of the whole code, and I've tried to break the code into smaller, simpler pieces. I've also tried to follow our professor's advice, and um, therefore I wrote a small piece of program which was quite simple. I kept on modifying it until I got this result. Okay, so this is the thought which came to my mind before writing the code, that that can be somehow make the canvas both the input screen and the output screen. And yes, we can do that. We just have to manage and store the position of the many clicks that we do on the canvas. If we want to store the position of the click, I mean, it's quite easy if we use lists. So the tools which I have used in my code are for loop, which is just for accessing the elements of the list one by one. The list in which I store multiple data, access multiple data, edit the multiple data, and also somehow store the address of the balls, I mean, which you saw on the canvas. Images, well, there's nothing quite significant. Whatever Professor Joe has taught us, I'm just using that. I've just loaded the image and I'm displaying the image, but I've just rotated the image by 90 degrees. It's quite easy. So some concepts I'm showing here. These are two circles, and these are the centers of the two circles joined by a straight line. If I click anywhere on this circle, if I click over here, 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 anywhere in this circle, I want the address, I mean the position of this center of the circle to be stored in my code somewhere in the list. Similarly, if I click anywhere over here, 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 or here, I want this position, this center of the circle to be stored. I don't want these random points. Now why I want the center of the center of the circle is because I will compute the distance between the center of two circles. Um, and if it's less than, okay, this is the next slide. If the distance between the center of two circles is less than 200, is less than or equal to 200, or rather if it's equal to 200, then I can swap the two circles. If it's more than 200, then I cannot swap the two circles. In this case, I cannot swap. No, I can't swap because they are not touching each other, whereas here they're touching each other. Now, nums is nothing but a list which contains list inside it. So it's a list containing list. Um, each individual list looks like this, and I can have many lists of this sort inside num. Okay, if I run a for loop like this for z in num, at a given iteration of the loop, z can have lists like this. Maybe this can be the list inside z, or this can be the list inside z, because z will have the sublist of nums. And again, if I run a loop inside that formal loop, I gain access to the individual items inside Z. I mean, if I can gain access to this 100, I can gain access to this 200, this 3 over here, and this orange. And that's very important for this program. Before going to the last slide, that is swapping the numbers, I want to show you the code again. So here's the code. Um, well, we are importing the required modules and the image, and we are assigning the global variables. Next, we have the new name function, in which we are reassigning those variables whom we want to whose value we want to change if we restart the game. Now I have assigned x equal to 100 and y equal to 100. We'll see why. Okay, initially, I mean, the position of the center of the circle of the first circle, the center of the first circle has a value 100 comma 100, because x is 100 and y is 100. And the next circle, in that case, the x is equal to 300 and y equal to 100. In the next circle, x is equal to 500 and y is equal to 100. So that's what I've done here. I'm incrementing x by 200 in each iteration until until I complete the third iteration, because after the third iteration, when we are over here, I want to reassign x to 100 because this is 100, and at that time I want to reassign y equal to 300 because this is 300. So to achieve that, I have given a condition that if I equal to 2, x equal to 100, and y equal to 300. And C is nothing but the color choice, which we can randomly choose from all this variety of colors. Next, I am doing I am I'm creating a list A and copy. Copy will be nothing but the list of nums. I'll see if I require it later. For Z in nums, I'm running a loop. I am taking out all the numbers in the list nums. By the word numbers, I mean just this I, this one, because x and y, they are meant to be the address of the center of circle. C is the color, and I is the number which you see printed on the circle. So I take the number in this way, z of 2, which means the third item actually, and I'll append it to the list A. Then I'll shuffle the list A, and I'll again put those numbers back into the original list nums, so that I can have a random arrangement of numbers. I have this helper function which gives me the distance between 2 points. That's quite simple. Um, I have this command range. Range is nothing but a set of coordinates x and y. I take it as parameters in the function command. If range lies between this, I'll start a new game. Uh, what I mean to do is that if the range is somewhere over here in this rectangle which I'm showing right now, if the range, if the click is made in this portion, then I will start a new game because that area is meant for restart. Okay, we move on. I have this function num changing. Um, to explain this, I'll take to you back to the OneNote. Mm, so how do we change the numbers and colors in the two sub lists of the list num? Okay, in the list num, I will find out the number who has the same position as current one. I'll also find the number which has the same position as current 2. Current 1 and 2 are nothing. They are um, they are global variables. They store the position of the click. We'll see how they store it in this function, click pause. Okay, um, I'll change the color and number of these two positions. How can I do this? If current one is this, for example, and current two is this, for example, and I iterate through all the items in num, and I find this matching item in num whose address is same as current one. Also, I find the matching item in nums whose address, I mean 200, 300, is the same as the address stored in current 2. After that, I will simply swap the positions of the number in the first current one and the number in current 2, and also I'll swap the position of the color in current 2 with the color in the address of num, which is the same as color 2. So you see, in the list nums, without changing the address, I just changed the color and number. That is what this function does, and we move on. Next, I have a function click pause. Pause is nothing but the position where you click. Mm, okay, uh, I have done image equal to image 2. The triangle actually which you see over here, this triangle is the image 1, and this triangle is the image 2. So if I have clicked at least on any one of the circles, I'll change image r equal to image 2, and it will display the second image, the one with the white background. So I have this if state equal to 0. So this is quite important. I'm maintaining these two states equal to 0, and sometimes it's equal to 1. It's very simple though. When state equal to 0, it means that I haven't yet clicked on any of the circles. When state equal to 1, it means that I have clicked on one of the circles and the program is waiting for me to click on any other circle. Okay, so if I haven't clicked on any circle as of yet, I'll run a loop and I'll see position, if the distance between the position and um, any given sublist of nums is less than ball radius, then I'll assign current one the equal to the address, I mean equal to the center of the circle who is nearest to that given position. Fine. If I have clicked at least once, that means the state equal to 1. I want to assign current 2 in the same process, and then I'll check if the distance between current 1 and current 2 is less than equal to 200, I mean twice of radius. Then I'll do num changing. In num changing, I change both the number and the color. It means to swap the balls, nothing else. And I also do state equal to 0 because I'll again uh, want the user to click on any other circle and change its position and swap the circle. Or else, if this distance is not less than equal to 200, I'll keep state equal to 1. I mean, I'll again tell the user, I'll again make him click on choose some other circle. That's it. And the ending, we are not doing much. It's the same thing which we have done for Pong and all the other games. We are drawing all the lines, we are drawing the text, we're drawing the image, and we're drawing the circle. Um, Over here, I want to tell you that if I write mat.py at the end of draw image, this means to rotate the image by mat.py by 2. It means it's in radians. Mat.py means 180 degree actually in degrees. By 2 means 90 degrees. So pi by 2 radians. Over here, I'm just creating the frame, and I set the background and do all those things which I have been doing in all the programs. I start the frame and the game works alright. So that's all for this video, friends. Thank you. I hope you understood it pretty well. Thank you.